I keep hearing that money is the root of all conversation in London, but honestly, I think it's the language around money that's even more fascinating. Have you ever noticed how different social groups talk about cash here, Sarah?
It's wild, Paul. Just last week, I overheard a group using terms like wonga and dosh, and it hit me there's almost a secret code for finances depending on where you are in the city. It's like every pocket of London has its own way of talking money.
Exactly! And it goes deeper than just slang. The way people describe deals, savings, or even debts can hint at their background or which part of London they're from.
And honestly, that's why today's episode is going to be so much fun. We're not just talking pounds and pence, we're cracking open the financial dialects of London.
Let's kick things off with the classic received pronunciation. When most people think of proper British English, this is what comes to mind, right?
Absolutely. You can almost picture the newsreader or the bank manager using phrases like current account, savings, or overdraft, very formal, very precise. They probably wouldn't toss around quid or fiver in a meeting.
There's definitely a sense of formality and distance. Even the intonation seems to put a little buffer between the speaker and the subject, especially with financial matters.
It's almost as if using that kind of language creates a sense of authority or trustworthiness, which makes sense in high-stakes financial situations.
Switching gears, I've got to admit, Cockney rhyming slang always makes me smile. I mean, have you ever tried to pay for something with a pony or a monkey and seen the confusion on a tourist's face?
It's priceless. I once heard someone say, "I'm a bit short on bread," meaning money, and it took me ages to figure out they weren't talking about lunch. The creativity is just brilliant. Bees and honey for money. Score for 20 quid.
It's like a linguistic handshake if you know, you know. And it brings a sense of community, especially in places where Cockney traditions still hold strong.
But I do wonder how much of it is still used day to day. So many younger Londoners lean toward different slang these days.
That actually reminds me, Multicultural London English, or MLE, seems to be rewriting the rules lately. What's your take on how MLE handles financial slang?
It's bold, isn't it? You'll hear words like peas for money or racks for thousands, filtering in from different cultures. It's almost a patchwork bits of Jamaican patois, West African terms, even American hip-hop influence.
Right, and it's always evolving. One week you're hearing cheddar, the next it's something totally new. The slang moves with the music, the fashion, the whole youth culture vibe.
And sometimes a term will blow up on TikTok or get picked up in grime lyrics, and suddenly everyone's using it, at least until the next wave hits.
What surprises me is how these different money words travel across the city. You might hear dosh in a pub in the West End, but then a teenager in South London is talking about stacks.
Exactly. The lines are getting blurrier, aren't they? It's hard to pin down where a word started or who's supposed to use it now. That cross-pollination really shows how vibrant urban language can be.
It kind of mirrors London itself. A big mashup of history, migration, and trends colliding on the street.
And sometimes, a word gets so popular, it escapes London altogether and pops up across the UK. The way language spreads is just fascinating.
I've noticed that the financial dialect you use can say a lot about your social group or even your aspirations. Have you seen those subtle shifts in workplace chat, Sarah?
For sure, someone might switch from quid to pounds in a formal meeting just to sound a bit more polished. Or, in some circles, using the right slang can instantly show you're in the know.
It's funny how language can be both a bridge and a barrier, depending on who's listening.
And sometimes, dropping the wrong word in the wrong crowd can lead to some awkward looks. It's all about reading the room.
Speaking of reading the room, the way we pay for things has changed so much. Tap to pay, digital wallets. Do you think that's shifting how we talk about money in London too?
Oh, absolutely. I hear contactless thrown around more than cash these days. Even the slang is evolving. People joke about Apple paying their way through life.
It's almost like the language is racing to keep up with technology. The old notes and coins terms are still there, but now they're joined by a whole new set of digital vocabulary.
And sometimes, the nostalgia for old money slang creeps in, like people still calling a tenner, even if it's just a number on a screen now.
Let's dig into loans and debt, because that's a whole other set of lingo. Ever notice how much softer people make it sound?
Yeah, instead of saying, I owe money, you'll hear, I'm a bit strapped, or I've got a few bills to sort. It's almost protective, like people are wrapping their struggles in euphemisms.
Or sometimes, it's just humor calling a payday loan a cheeky advance to take the sting out. Londoners are masters at putting a spin on tough situations.
Exactly. And it's a way of keeping things light in a city where living costs are sky high. The language helps people cope, in a way.
Stepping into bigger money for a second, the words shift again when you're talking about investments or finance careers. Ever been to those after-work drinks in the city?
Oh, totally different world. You'll hear talk of shares, capital gains, or dividends, and the slang is subtler, more about status than street cred.
It's almost a badge of belonging. Drop the right jargon, and you fit in with the bankers and brokers. Drop the wrong word, and you stick out like a sore thumb.
Sometimes, the language can feel intentionally exclusive, almost like it's meant to keep outsiders arm's length. It's a whole other layer to London's financial dialect.
Funny you mention, exclusivity, media, and pop culture have a way of breaking those barriers. I've seen slang from TV shows and rap tracks go mainstream almost overnight.
Absolutely. A word like moolah or notes will show up on a show like Top Boy, and suddenly, everyone's using it. It's like London's financial language gets crowdsourced.
And the feedback loop just keeps going. New slang makes it into the media, and then back onto the streets. But sometimes it gets reinvented again along the way.
It's a reminder that language isn't fixed, especially in cities as dynamic as London. Even the old school terms get a modern twist once pop culture gets involved.
You know, my dad still calls a 20-pound note a score, while my nephew just says 20. Have you noticed the generational split in money words?
Definitely. My gran still talks about bob and shillings, and she gets confused when my cousin jokes about bands instead of grand. The language really tells you someone's age, sometimes even more than their accent.
It's like a living timeline. Some words stick around, others just vanish between generations.
And sometimes, the old terms come back in style almost like retro fashion. Young people love picking up vintage slang for a bit of fun.
With all that in mind, do you think London's money slang is headed toward more unity, or will new divides crop up as the city changes?
That's a tough one. My gut says both. It'll keep mixing and evolving, but new groups will always put their own spin on things. The city changes, and so does the lingo.
Maybe it's less about erasing differences and more about celebrating the creativity. After all, every new word tells a story about the people who use it.
And those stories are what keep London's language so alive. Whether you're talking cheddar or capital, the words we choose always say something about us.
As we wrap up, I keep thinking this isn't just about slang. It's about identity, history, and connection. The way we talk about money shapes the way we experience the city.
Exactly, Paul. It's not just words. It's how Londoners share struggles, celebrate wins, or just have a laugh. Understanding the lingo is almost like a secret pass to the city's heart.
So next time you're out in London, listen for those little financial phrases. You might just pick up a whole new side of the city.
And who knows, maybe you'll even start a bit of lingo of your own. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into London's financial dialects.